Seychelles, a group of small islands or large ocean states, blessed with rich natural resources upon which people rely. Our prosperity is directly related to the health of these resources. Global climate change is the defining challenge of our time. 800 million people around the globe are currently vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. This includes floods, extreme weather events, and sea level rise. Climate change is even more challenging for island nations such as Seychelles. In Seychelles, climate change is an existential threat. For Seychelles, it leads to increased intensity and frequency of severe weather, storm surges, as well as changes in rainfall patterns and a warming ocean. These changes threaten the very infrastructure that drives the country's economy.
We have a lot of infrastructure on the coast of Seychelles, and we have seen the impacts of climate change up till now, and we foresee that the impacts would be significant as we move forward.
Climate change has already had dire consequences for the island state's marine resources, particularly our coral reefs, and has also impacted the livelihoods of many.
The coral reef was healthier. You had lots of different types of corals.
I mean, we are seeing the seasons that we used to catch fish have more or less changed. The currents have changed. We have times that the currents are extreme, that we cannot fish at all.
With change comes the need to adapt. Under the Paris Agreement, Seychelles submits its nationally determined contributions, or NDC, every 5 years. In its NDC, Seychelles makes a commitment to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions. It also describes how it is going to adapt to climate change. The country's blue economy is central to its adaptation.
The NDC will help us to look at different aspects of adaptation strategies within the country. So we've come up with a coastal management plan, being assisted by the World Bank. And this plan, we've inserted it within the NDC.
Adapting to change builds resilience, or the ability to cope with change and still live prosperously.
Well, I think one of the key aspects to adapting is actually involving all stakeholders around the decision-making process.
Now, more than ever, it is essential that we adapt, we restore and maintain ecosystems.
Like what they've been doing as well is like they've been like trying to regrow, the corals as well. So which means this is a good sign. So which means like some of the sites that we can say that we have actually lost, it can be like re-put back to normal and slowly, even though it takes ages for the corals to grow.
A more resilient environment means more resilient people, more opportunities, and a stronger economy. In the current NDC, actions have been identified for 4 blue sectors for Seychelles to better adapt to climate change. Implementation will require resources from government, donors, NGOs, private investors, as well as the private sector.
So it's a combination of different approaches, which I think should help us in the long term when it comes to adapting and mitigating against climate change.
Seychelles is building its ambition around its blue economy to adapt to climate change. At the heart of its ambition is inclusivity. What is your ambition?